All right, guys, welcome back to another recap. This is going to be a shorter recap just because this week has been very busy for me and I don't have too much time to do this today. This is going to be kind of going over what's been happening in the market and with my trading the last few days, actually, last couple weeks. So let's get into today real quick. I missed Monday's recap, Tuesday's recap, and today's Wednesday. So I apologize for the delay on all that. Again, been really busy with my actual, my day job. So and other stuff going on, but it has not been a good week whatsoever. And this is going to be a little bit of a, not a little bit, this will be more of a discussion on what to do during cold markets because that's what we've been experiencing the last 2 weeks. This has been really bad. To be honest, this is like the coldest I've seen in a while. It has dragged out for a long time. It's lasted over 2 weeks, to be honest, where we in the mornings, like here in the pre-market, nothing's above 100% on the day, which isn't always the indicator of slowness, but just during the open, we just see failure. Like stocks just flip over and they roll over on the day and nothing happens. We don't see any more continuing action, and that's my trading window, the opening bell. And we're not seeing any kind of good movement. And trading, with the market, cold markets are to be expected. It is a cycle. There's a reason they call it a cycle, because we alternate between hot and cold. And it's supposed to be something that you get accustomed to and get used to and expect in your trading. But I would say that I am really struggling with not even just recognizing that it's a cold market, because I can see that, but more of adjusting my trading to adapt to the cold market. So the mistake that a lot of newer traders like myself make is we'll see opportunities and we don't register that because it's a cold market, there is a less likely chance that our setups are going to work out like they would in a hot market. And in doing so, it's easy to use the same sizing that you would in a hot market, right? Because you're like, well, this is my setup. This should work. This works a lot. So why would I change my sizing? But that has really come back to bite me in the butt lately. And I've been struggling, as we're able to see on the thumbnail. This week, I am down a lot. I am down nearly $600. And that's so incredibly unacceptable for me. It's just, I put myself in a hole a few weeks ago, then I dug myself back out. Now I'm just digging it right back up. And it's like, I suppose this is just the part of being a break-even trader, but if I really want to be able to move forward, I need to understand some concepts here. And that's kind of what we're going over today. So this morning I get up and I see QUCY up on the scanner, right? This is a penny stock, and I trade these all the time with a free commission broker. It's very easy to. We saw it put in just a very large move pre-market, and then just kind of consolidate in this range here. And what I thought I was seeing was just kind of like a descending resistance here. I kind of drew this out. I suppose you could kind of do it like this, or maybe up here. Anyway, however you want to draw it. We saw this kind of consolidation happening. It was slowly kind of moving downward, and then into the open, we come back up here, and I didn't take a trade yet. I saw this rejection here. And I was like, okay, we're going to just wait to see what happens. And then one of my favorite things to see is this U shape, right? U shape after a drop into the open. U shape, volume was coming in. And right here, as we broke this trend line here, I entered with 2,500 shares. And then we popped up really quick. I kind of chased it, and I entered right here. My position was around 60. I think I got hit pretty high. I think it was like 62.70. And we dipped back down. We were kind of floating around this trend line for a second, so I thought that we were basing out and we were going to move higher. And so in my silliness, I added, even though I wasn't into the green, like I was in the red slightly. So I added before there was further confirmation that there was a move happening. And so I was in with 5,000 shares, which is a large position. And in a cold market, it's just not acceptable. You shouldn't be doing that, especially when you're already down on a position. Adding to it is just loser mentality. It's just unprofitable mentality right there. And as you can see, it didn't work out, and I had to stop out. Like, I was waiting to see what would happen if it was going to break this moving average, and I put my stop right around here, and I stopped out. So was I wrong for necessarily taking this trade? Not necessarily. This is my setup, and it works. It has worked a lot in the past, and it works well in hot markets, but my position sizing was just too big. And in cold markets, you need to adjust because there's no actual reason for you to increase share size on your trades when it's been being proven that large moves are not happening right now. And you know what? If it was to happen, then great. I may undercapitalize on this one, but then that would be a signal for me to be able to increase size for the future if we start seeing things warm up. But we weren't. And man, this has been such a test for me. I guess it's like I'm like, nah. We've had 2 weeks of a cold market. We got to have a move already, right? And no, we don't. And it's like the emotions come in where you're like, I just want a winner already. Like I just want to have a green day. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It's not easy posting loss after loss after loss on YouTube to you guys. Like, it's not only is embarrassing, but it's just like, I know I could do better. And I've never claimed to be a profitable trader, and I will gladly tell you guys right now, I'm not a profitable trader. I am a losing, unprofitable trader still. I am still learning. I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. But it doesn't make it any easier to show these losses and show my mistakes. But I do this as well for myself, just because speaking it and actually being able to force myself to review trades like this is kind of burning into my memory more. And I guess this is like my way of journaling. And yeah, there's not really too much to say, because it's like in the past few days, I have been taking like reasonable trades. I wouldn't say any of them were deviating from my strategy. It's just none of them were working because we are in a terribly cold market. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles in this type of market, like, and had I been actually just sizing myself properly and taking correct size for this market, I could have been down a lot less. Another thing in cold markets is just the ability to not take trades, which I really do need to work on. That's something that to me is incredibly hard, sitting on the sidelines, and it's literally preserving capital. Like, you're technically, if you were to have been losing money, but instead you decided not to take a trade, you are making money. Really, that's what that is. You're that like, I need to get better at that and recognizing when it's not a good time to take a trade. And maybe today was that case, to where, like, perhaps if I would have seen it actually break this pre-market high for full-on confirmation that something is happening, perhaps, I don't know. Again, I don't think I was necessarily wrong for taking this trade, but it was the sizing that just killed me. 220 on the day is unacceptable. Like, I try to lose on a red day under 100, and this is over double that. Like, that's ridiculous. And it's just simply because my sizing was too big. So going into tomorrow and just the continuing days until I can see evidence that the market is actually picking back up and I can actually start digging myself out of this hole, because now that I'm in this hole again, it's going to take me a longer time to dig myself out of it because I have to size down. Like, I have to take smaller size now. And it's the meaning that if the market does heat up, it's going to take me a longer time to be able to recover that than if I had taken small size and was only dipped down a small amount from the highs. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's very unfortunate. I am still learning. These red days, as long as you're learning something from red days, it's not a waste. It's not wasted money. It's not on the green days, great, you're making money and learning, but on the red days, if you're learning, then I would say you're stepping in the right direction, getting 1% better every single day. If I'm not taking any lessons from this week or this, all this profit that I'm losing, all this capital that I'm losing is all for nothing, then I'm actually just lost. I'm down $600 this week for absolutely nothing, So this is, I guess, tuition, and as long as I'm taking notes and actually learning from these mistakes, and yes, they are mistakes. Like, this is not the market's fault. This is absolutely on me as a trader. Like, this is just a loser's mentality mindset. And by the way, insult to injury, this actually did end up working a lot here, as you can see. Like, this is up over 300% on the day. This continues to just grind upwards. And also, we did have a large move. We had 1,000% gainer, over 1,000% actually, because it was at 1,000 here at 30. This stock, TDIC, this is insane, by the way. This was at $2.20 at yesterday's close, and today it's at it hit over $30 a share, which is awesome. Like, I was flipping out, like, seeing this. This is exciting for me because this, I think, I mean, I can't say for sure, but a move like this, a short squeeze like this, really could ignite a hot market. So maybe this will be what breaks the long stretch of cold market that we've had recently. But again, unfortunately, if it does, I'm still gonna not be able to capitalize as much on it, because if tomorrow we're gonna have a hot day, I'm probably gonna have to be taking smaller size, right? Not even probably, I definitely should, until we see further confirmation. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Great momentum here. I love seeing this. I'm really hoping this will get some excitement and FOMO back into the market, so we'll be able to actually see more moves like this earlier in the day and not at 3 p.m., 4 p.m. So yeah, that's where we're at. Like I said, this was a quick recap. Yeah, guys, buckle up. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. But yeah, so understand your markets, be observant, and most of all, learn to adapt. Like, that's what we are as traders. We have to be very observant and adapt and avoid emotions, and So yeah, I guess this is great to see. And if we're gonna be right back in a hot market tomorrow, then yeah, learn to adapt in that. Step on the gas when the going's good and ease off when it's cold. So we're learning lessons. We're moving forward. I guess I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully we can help smooth out in Thursday and Friday this week and close it as a small red week. And if we're going to be in a hot market the next few weeks, and as a PDT rule is removed, then great. I just need to slowly get back up to my highs, and yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah. All right, guys. Day trading is risky, as you guys know, and as you guys can see clearly in I'm a clear case study for that. So manage your risk. Be very careful. Always day trade in a simulator, and before putting real money on the line. And yeah. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the recap.